In part 2 of this lesson, I'll show you 2 more examples on how to write formulas for ionic compounds. In question 1, they want us to write the formula for the ionic compound that forms between calcium and oxygen. It's an ionic compound because we have a metal coming together with a nonmetal. The first step, according to this, is to write down the cation and anion of these two elements. The calcium element will become the cation, because the metal always will lose its electrons and it'll become positive. So calcium is written as Ca, and according to the periodic table here, it's right here, it's in the second group, so it gets 2+. Notice that it's positive because it has lost its electrons when it became an ion. Oxygen, on the other hand, has a charge of 2-. In step number 2, what you have to do, according to this, is adjust the subscript on each cation and anion to balance the overall charge. So what you do is you take this 2 and do a crisscross action where this 2 goes here and this 2 goes here. Don't worry about the charge, just worry about the number. So we have calcium, subscript of 2, and oxygen, subscript of 2. Now, just like what we did when we changed the molecular formula to empirical formula, we have to reduce this as much as we can. Notice that there's a 2 in common with both of these elements. So we divide this by 2 and this by 2. That gives us calcium 1, oxygen 1. In step number 3, which is optional, you have to check that the sum of the charges of the cation equals the sum of the charges of the anion. What that means is that you take this number 1 and multiply it to 2+. 1 times positive 2 gives us +2. And 1 times negative 2, this number, gives us -2. When you add these up, if you get 0, you've done it correctly. 2 minus 2 is 0. That means you've done it correctly. Your final formula is CaO, which is calcium oxide. In question 2, we're asked, write the formula for the compound between aluminum and nitrogen. Aluminum is Al, and its charge, according to this, is 3+. Nitrogen's charge is 3-. So 3+ and 3-. Crisscross. This gives us aluminum 3, nitrogen 3. Because 3 can be divided into both of these numbers, this gives us aluminum 1, nitrogen 1. We don't need to write the 1 down. It's assumed that it's there. And that's it. 2 more examples on how to write formulas for ionic compounds. If you still need help with this, make sure to watch part 1 for more review.